New fastest lap for Harmia, 1:14.2. Fastest lap for Marty, 1:14.1. The pit lane speed limit is 56 kilometers per hour. Take care, there's a car approaching. Alright Andre, we've got 23 minutes to get a decent lap in. Flag. Blue flag. Got 10 minutes of fuel remaining. Blue flag.
Left side. Clear left.
Yellow flag, caution. That's 20 minutes to go. minutes about you, mate. B37. Okay, Andre, you've got half your fuel left. P15, that was at 114.8. Place. You're now 1.9 off the leader's pace. You've just done a 116.0. Track limits, keep it within the lines. There's a car approaching. Don't cross the white line. Watch your mirrors. Yellow flag. Okay, Andre, you've got 10 minutes of fuel remaining. Blue flag.
Car right. Clear right.
15 minutes left. That's 15 minutes. B17.
Clear left.
Yellow flag. Yellow flag.
Car left. Clear left.
Sector 3 is 2.6 off the...
On your left. Clear left.
You're a tenth off the pace in Sector 2. Yellow flag. Okay, Andre, 5 minutes of fuel remaining, 5 minutes. That puts you 2.2 off the pace. Sector 3 is 0.6 off the pace. That lap was a 116.3.
Car left. Clear left.
Your Sector 2 time is quick. You've got 10 minutes left, 10 minutes to go. Sector 3 is 0.5 off the pace. You're 2/10 off the pace in Sector 1.
Clear left.
Minutes of fuel remaining. There's traffic behind. Watch your mirrors. Don't cross the white line. Blue flag.
Not very far apart at all here, but I just want to see how Harley and Mr. Haig deals with Marcello Kessler coming around the old hairpin.
Yellow flag.
I would say it's the best decision I've ever made. It's not having done that under a safety car, really.
They're taking their pit stop versions from Ferrari then,
In at turn one, just too much gas on them, too much feet on the out pedal, and unfortunately he's dropped him all the way down the order. But Philip Hammer is out in front by an 8.91 seconds.
Clear left.
That Michael is a wall there, sir. Definitely doesn't want to be hitting that earlier on as well.
B20.
Difficult the understeer is in the dirty air through that final corner because it's such a long corner and you get dragged off into the grass very easily. The lovely slipstream down it towards the chicane. Peterson was briefly alongside, but that slipstream has saved him and kept him in third. Yeah, Barani now lost a little bit of time to Aberdeen, about half a second. Peterson is
Okay, Andre. 5 minutes to go. 5 minutes left.
Mike's pushed Morgan forward up ahead. He's got out of line. He's now Mike get out of goal. Well, don't push him off. He's in the championship fight. Well, chasing down Carl Jacklin. Further down, Rob Williams and Chris Barnes.
Sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's come back into play. Exactly, Miller's in such trouble. He's left on second and change. All of a sudden, Miller's back in play.
You're currently 1.8 off the pace. Your lap time was at 1:15.8.
So there's been a lot of movers and shakers in this first 2 laps here for race.
Absolutely serious racing. It's a lot of fun.
It's all about the entertainment.
So I hope everybody is enjoying themselves out there in the chat. You know, Ron is enjoying himself watching Burger King machines off into the grass a little bit there. Is that
Really punched up now.
We estimate you've got 5 minutes of fuel remaining. That puts you 2.6 seconds off the leader's pace. Your last lap time was at 1:16.6.
Does he have it? He's on the outside line though, going into the fastest corner on the circuit. Surely this can't work.
Dominic Ligner has got a sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's caught back into play. Exactly. Miller's in such trouble. He's up to the second and change. All of a sudden, Miller's back in play.
Can Barry do it? Big Barry's gonna do it. Big Barry!
2 minutes to go. 2 minutes.
Hello everybody and welcome back to the RGP Fun F3 League for the penultimate round of the championship in 2023. This is season 4 of course, and we are just 2 rounds away from knowing the champion of another great season in this league. Laguna Seca, the venue of which we settled the title fight last season. Kenji Newhoff at that point accumulating enough points so that he couldn't be caught by the likes of Conor Gibb towards the end of season 3 of 2023. He was able to go to the finale without any worries of a championship fight. I can't imagine that anyone is going to be having won the championship by this point in the season this time around. It is still very close, as we will get to very shortly. But for now, let's introduce you to ourselves. I'm Ian O'Leary alongside Tim Biggles, and we will take you through the race here this evening. Let's have a look at those championship standings then. These are the overall points, by the way, so it's a bit difficult to really read everything into this at this point because there's only 2 rounds to go. And of course 2 drop weeks will be taken from these scores, but Max Bartolotti has the most, and if Antonio Jimenez and Kenji Newhoff, who would be switched around. In fact, when you apply the drop weeks, Newhoff and Bartolotti are only separated by 5 points, albeit still in the favour of the Italian. Luca Verani and Rob Ridgway are in the top 5 in total points, and Greg Sykes is the first driver with less than 300. He's not far ahead of Pedro Suarez, Adam Talbot or Chuck Morrow. Conor Gibb rounds out the top 10 but gains quite a few places if you apply drop weeks. I think he gains 6th or 7th or around there. Andy Flint is just outside the top 10 with Evan Way in 12th. Then Van Zura now has made a good performance this season. Edwin Amos and Christian Glamsey around out the top 15, just ahead of Samu Hermer and Jacques Willems. They're the last drivers to have more than 200. Then it's Stuart Milne, Ben Goet and Marek Zotlov's the top 20. So those are your championship standings, but as I say, 2 drop weeks will be applied. So Max Bartolotti is leading the standings by 5 points ahead of Kenji Newhoff. Then it's Tony Jimenez, who is 21 points back and needs to gain quite a few today if he wants to be involved in the championship finale in 1 week's time. Luca Verani is 26 points back with Greg Seitz, now 34 points back, and that means it is possible for him to win the championship, but it's unlikely, let's say, here at this stage. Let's welcome in Biggles then, who will be alongside me this evening. Welcome back to the RGP Fun F3 League, Biggles. It's good to have you with us again. As I reminded you before the broadcast, although you couldn't remember, which is fine. We were here for the Laguna Seca race last season as well, where Kenji Newhoff took a championship, but it's going to be very difficult for him to seal the title here tonight.
When you get to my age, my friend, you're allowed to forget a few things every once in a while. But yeah, it's... Well, we have a stacked grid. I think almost 50. 49. Come on, one more driver, please. Let's hit the 50 mark. Half a century as we're getting down to the dying stages of this championship. And on top of that, you'll get those results as they're finishing up their qualifying in just shy of a minute. But I think I was speaking to you in the green room that this is probably the first time in my career of casting that I've seen 30 drivers separated by 1 second, Ewan. Isn't that crazy?
Doesn't happen very often, and Nick Carty, the final of those 30, by the way, we do indeed have 30 within a second. Remarkable once again, but exactly what you'd expect from the IGP Fun F3 League. It's been like this for quite some time, and it keeps on happening again and again, albeit short laps around here, just around 74 seconds around Laguna Seca in these Formula 3 cars. But nobody able to break into the 113s, actually, and they were quite close to doing so. The top three all covered by just 200ths of a second as well, which is very interesting to note. And with the positions of the championship favourites are also very important to note, I guess, at the end of this qualifying session, with Max Bartolot leading the standings, but he's a long way behind Kenji Nieuwhof as things stand in this race. He'll look to gain some positions throughout the actual racing, as he did at Belle Isle 1 week ago. Let's have a look, though, at that grid, and it is Thiago Marteau who leads the way ahead of Kenji Nieuwhof, and then Samu Hermer, 200 separating the top three. Tony Jimenez is on row 2 as well, ahead of Andy Flint and Will McIntyre-Jones. There's Clark Williams and Evan Way. Timo Milikangis, who really shot up those standings throughout that qualifying session, is 9th ahead of Sebastian Grabland. Benjamin Fergerio and Aaron Smith round out the top 12. Then it's Luca Veroni, Andrea Catter, with Max Bortolotta down in 15th. He's going to need to gain some places. He's alongside Ivan Van Hoek in 16th. Then it's Eddie Amos and Pedro Suarez, with Chuck Morrow and Andrei Wiskowski rounding out the top 20. Adam Townsend and Richard Wedstead are on row 11, ahead of Zoltan Zamota and Robert Ridgway. That's row 12. Then row 13. It starts off with 25th placed Stephen Ridders, Vladislav Potapenko alongside him, with Koji Ito and Ivan Zura now next. Alex Hopkins and Nick Carty round out those within a second in the top 30. Stuart Milne and Ben are on row 16 ahead of Giovanni Solito and Chris Stewart. Mike Zotlovs is alongside Dennis Cornu on row 18 ahead of John McKenzie and Rena Scatini. Reed Dennis and Matthew Gracie round out an All-American row 20. Martin Devine is in 41st ahead of Oscar Artinado. Then it is Chris Georgiandelis with James Rush alongside him. Kevin Zwemstra making a return to the IGP Fun F3 League in 43rd. George Kelstrup, Michael Volkering, Marcelo Kessler and Philip Lucas grab the 49 that are in this session, but I'm slightly concerned that those back two rows
Andre, are you ready? Watch for the lights.
Because they are not currently on the grid.
Go, go, go!
There's not very long to go. They've got about 10 seconds to do so. So I'm not particularly hopeful. I think we're going to get 45, 44 starts this race. Looks like 45, and the back four look like they're not going to be getting things underway. But the rest of them are a 45 car grid here at Laguna Seca for the penultimate round of the IGP Fun F3 League. It's time for the penultimate race of the season, and we are underway. Samuel Herman with a good start, and that is not going to be great news for Kenji Nieuwhof. No active overtaking in towards turn 1, of course, but that doesn't mean that you can't slip your way through if the situation arises. It hasn't, though, for that top three. Nieuwhof goes wide. Herman very nearly taking advantage of that, but is a bit nervous too with the rules around the opening couple of corners. Now they'll file their way into the second turn as well. Looks everything at single file. Good starts from everybody. We made it pretty cleanly. We'll be probably racing as well. Thiago Marteau has converted pole position into an early lead as Chuck Morrow and Adam Townsend go off the road along with Robert Ridgway, Stephen Ridders. It's a North American tangle at turn 3, I'm afraid, with loads of cars ending up off the road.
And that's what you would expect, obviously. The stacked grid already at the moment there, but so far so good. Couple of positions lost and gained, really inside the top 15 at the moment there. Only just a couple of switcheroos, but yes, further back, a lot of gains and a lot of drop positions going through the carousel. Love that. These cars were going airborne through there during practice session, but I think they're going to take a little bit more easier during the race.
Come on, stay focused. Apexes and exits. Apexes and exits. V18.
Out of the final corner, they go for the first time then. It's 38 laps around here this evening. As mentioned, just 1 minute 15s or so in terms of lap times, although this will be up into the 123s because we are starting the race, of course. Now down in towards turn 1. Timo Milikangis is going to look up ahead and see Clark Williams trying to make his way around the outside of Will McIntyre-Jones. That doesn't happen, and he can't make his way through right round the outside. It's a very long way round, and he's not able to make it stick. So single file on the second lap of of the race. We'll go back and look at some of the things that happened on lap 1, of course, a little bit
Left
later
side.
on. But it's been a good
Wide,
stop
you're
from
on the
top 3.
right.
No positions changed there.
Clear left.
Not many inside the top 15. It's outside of that.
Right
We've seen
side.
a lot of
Clear
positions
right.
gained. The likes of Stuart Milne gaining 8 places in just 1 lap.
Well, and then they've got a bit of time to get it all done, no doubt, in a very adventurous race. The top 3, I mean, obviously, look at that. The very Dutch driver that we didn't tell Dutch, he's got no limb inside there. We haven't even seen him. He's not even in the championship yet, but obviously when he drives,
cut
he's
warning.
driving
Keep it tidy,
very,
please,
very
Andre.
well. And he's almost got a big 1.3 second gap, so just certainly a class of his own. 7.1
Car in front of us is now
up to the inside there from Samuel. Sends a dummy, but Kensley has
place.
closed the door.
There's an
And
incident
they
in
both
the Andretti
live to
hairpin.
fight
It looks like
another day.
Bortolotti.
Well, that was close. Not really very convinced of that move as Alan
Looks like,
Smith now
watch
looks to
out.
make his way into the top 10. Evan Way on the outside here.
There's an incident
It's,
in turn
further up,
3.
they're going to
I think
stay
it might
single
be
file. Alan
underway
Smith
there.
certainly doesn't. He goes down the inside and goes into 10th place. Into that hairpin, the first corner of
With
the
a big accident with
Andretti
that
hairpin. It's
championship
got one
leader.
road for Max Bortolotti. He's off the road, the championship leader. Off the road down at turn 1. There's a spin as well from Pedro Suarez by the looks of things. And Max Bortolotti has gone into contact. How
yeah,
damaged is
he's
his
now leading.
car is the question that we'll have to ask as well at this point, because he's a long way back already compared to getting off, and now he's been caught up in an early incident
Right
as well.
side.
That's big, that
Clear
was
right.
huge. I was just switching back there at the moment because I thought there was a pack starting to brew. When you start to see zeros in the intervals, you know that they're side by side. This is very unfortunate for Max, but he looks like he's still putting in the right direction. That's very, very important, of course. We all know that Max is
It's
charged
just
for
done
back from the field. He looks like he's got some
115.4.
pace.
That's a new fastest lap for Marty. 115.4.
He looks pretty quick, but don't forget, his drop weeks mean that he actually can't lose any more than 7 points to Kentinov.
P50.
Even if Kenty wins, it's only 7 points that he can gain. There's the contact. I think it's Pedro Suarez, isn't it, on the inside? Not sure, but it was 3 wide and it didn't quite fit into the Andretti hairpin. Benjamin Fregerio is into the pit lane from 14th, so Potapenko and Bortolotti will both gain places, and Bortolotti's going to want one more as well. Down the inside he goes
window
into
open. All right,
14th
Andre,
position
we'll need to
now,
hit for
which
fuel
is
right
a
now.
good place to
22.
be, but unless he
Nyholt
finishes
is now in the
higher than
lead.
what he did last week at Belle Isle, where he was only 8th, this race will become a drop round. He needs to be inside the top 8 if he wants this race to count towards his points.
Of course, another driver at the moment that you said, Tony, here, Jimenez, for the DriveX esports team has all been bunched up at the moment. Andy Flint, currently 13, he's the number 13, and gained 1 place there at the moment. And so they pull a little bit
Car
away at
left.
the line, but there it is there.
Clear
So
left.
Mr. Tony's got a group of those cars all bunching up behind him currently at the moment, practically started where they are, apart from the finish driver. And look at this, so, do not look away. Didn't I use my commentator's curse before the past?
P14. That was 116.2.
Well, Scandinavian drivers, huh?
Yeah, we are. Sebastian Graveland down the inside of Timo Lilikangis here. It's outside for Lilikangis, and he should find this pretty difficult, I would imagine. Graveland with a nice dive down the inside of the final corner, which has got into position. Aaron Smith is the one in the red just behind as well in this line. It's Tony Jimenez at the front of the group though, as there goes Bortolotti again, just this time on the defensive from Vyacheslav Potapenko, who's trying to make his way through. There's a bit of a train forming behind the championship leader right now as well.
And it's obviously good to see a
On your right.
Ukrainian driver on the grid.
Still there. Clear right.
So, fantastic. And he got almost every nation on the planet apart from Australian in here. Surprised. But then again, you have one up in the casting booth. Here we are. So, lap 5. Plenty of racing action. Gavin to the carousel wheel.
Well, you say that, by the way. We did have an Australian win the championship back in season 2 of 2023, but I don't think he did any races back then, so you won't have seen the Alpine take the title back then, but it's a little time in the morning.
Nyholt is leading the race. That's your fastest lap today. Sector 1 is 3.9 off the
to the
pace.
fact that we don't see very many
What about
on
the
the grid.
Japanese driver at the moment, my friends? The same time zone.
That's true. roughly, well, it's even less ideal because I think Japan are slightly not quite as far in front as some of Australia is, at least, if not all. So yeah, it's even less ideal. But fair play to Koji Ito, who's here week after week, and he's on the grid once again this evening in the 2500 category. By the way, he's P6 in that class. Currently leading the championship there is John McKenzie ahead of Stuart Mill. That is the points for the 2500 category that we also run here in the IGP Fun F3 League. We also have a teams championship, of course, that has the Hydro Race Racing Forces leading the way there. They are about 86 points ahead of their nearest rivals, so that is a pretty nailed-on victory for Kenzinov and Pedro Suarez in the teams championship. All the drivers' championships, though, still very much unsettled, and these battles are all defining those championship fights now as well. Here goes Sebastian Graveland down the inside. It's becoming his favourite move as he makes his way up to 8th. Oh, and 7th, excuse me. There was slight contact as Clark Williams has Will McIntyre Jones was pushed off the road there, and now Clark Williams is going to take advantage. So will Aaron Smith. This is a disaster for Will McIntyre Jones, who's shoved to the outside by Graveland. Now Williams is through. Aaron Smith looking to go through now on the inside as well. He'll have the outside for the next turn. This is turn 3. He's pushed out wide though, and so can't quite do it on that occasion. Will McIntyre Jones is not going to be pleased about that last exchange.
I love it. Will's actually livery at the moment. I'm looking at that at the moment, right? If I was looking at a race driver, focusing on for the Austrian just up the road there. We saw the action, didn't we, before, with Max getting involved with 3 cars into one corner. Somehow these drivers managed to escape that good wheel-to-wheel action.
Yeah, it's good racing in the lower part of the top 10. This is what we normally see, really. It's rarely for the top positions, and side by side further back. This is no longer the battle involving Bartolotta. He's got away from this, but it's Bartolotta who's really struggling. He gained a lot of places off at the start, but I think it's put him into a part of the standings where he's not so comfortable really, and he's only 19th. And I imagine we'll be outside the top 20 pretty quickly. Stuart Mill looking for his way through at the moment as we come towards the end of another lap. This is the end of lap 7 for these drivers. Still at 31 at the end of this one, by the way, just to keep you informed. So yeah, still a long way to go as we have a look at a replay at Zoltan Tomato. He's got nobody around him at all. Still brakes very late and spins into turn 2.
And very lucky he's out by himself, really running it at the back of the field there. So that'll come into play a little bit later on, of course, because once this pack starts catching the back markers, and they are starting to do that right now, you can see on the track map, they're approaching some lap cars, 40. So we did end up getting 40 actually, believe it or not. You can see on the track map there.
Graveland!
Oh, yes.
Graveland's gone off, and Clark Williams and Will McIntyre Jones both go through. Now Timo Milikangis has gone through on Aaron Smith. I wonder whether that was a similar incident as well, because
okay, Andre, the next car is Bortolotti.
Turn 6 is a very, very difficult one indeed, and Graveland has got into the gravel. I'm afraid on the sand. What about the joke word?
Oh, it lifted. It lifted,
yeah, just on the curb. Just up on the curb, and that's how he was sent out wide, and it's cost him 2 places.
Top times are improving.
After all that battling as well too. It's so frustrating for the drivers, isn't it? But that's what you get from motor racing. You are a bit of a gambler at a certain point as well too. So, you know, you've got to take a risk matching the board sometimes, and also, sometimes you just like you to get cold and stopping rather than something sweet, let's say, for Christmas coming out. I'm too early, a couple of days. I'll get the Christmas ones out.
A week's time we'll bring the Christmas ones out maybe, as Timo Milikangis is bringing out the overtakes here. Evan Way pushed to the outside, and Milikangis is up to 9th now. That's Evan Way passing Aaron Smith, I should say. Luca Varani is in the famous yellow and purple just in behind as well. This is the battle for 10th place. Milikangis is ahead of all of this. That's very close on the way towards the corkscrew, not ideal, and Varani has just backed off a little bit, given Aaron Smith a bit of space in front, and maybe that's a good idea really.
I guess he's back down the road there to the other Italian, so There's Max. He's got Andrea up here. Andrea's in the down this. What's happened?
115.2.
We've had
It's Aaron Smith into the pit lane. Down the inside goes Andrea Catter into the final corner as well. There's Aaron Smith. Not sure why he's come down pit lane actually, but Luca Berardi now is going to look for that position back through once again. He's on the inside through turn 1, flat out over the crest of course. Now into turn 2, the first braking zone of the day. And it is Luca Berardi who gets the position as well. Up to 11th he goes. And he's making progress as he so often does in these races. Just making the positions one by one. Into 11th he goes now.
Absolutely textbook overtaking. So the Swiss driver of Luca is going to hang with him actually. Maybe another opportunity. I'm just wondering whether or not it's going to bring Max into play. Max is further down the road there. 3.7. There, you can just see it in your pictures. So he's going to be hunting this pack down. I was going to say I was going to wonder anyway, of course it's Canadian. I was going to wonder whether or not, here it is, if Andrea was there in front, isn't he would have been able to slow Luca down if they are going to work as nationalities, of course. Further back at the field, but we do have another battle brewing for your 6 positions. It's the British driver of Mr. Williams.
You've just done a 115.6.
Pouncing down his gearbox.
Clark Williams, Will McIntyre Jones and Sebastian Graveland who are all in this battle at the moment. And it's outside line for Clark Williams as he tries to go right round the outside. Will McIntyre Jones. He tries to go right round the outside of Clark Williams. That has not happened on this occasion. We'll run on board with Sebastian Graveland who's just watching on, looking at this battle and seeing where he can go in relation to these two. Where can he pick up the pieces from this just up in front of him? Currently, by the way, on lap number 11 of this race, and Sebastian Graveland is in the sand, I'm afraid. Very, very wide, and he's going to have to gain that time back all over again.
There's your lap counter.
You fastest lap for Marty, 114.8.
To go for lots of incidents and reports. That's why we're about to show too many of the other actions happening down the field, of course, unless it does spread out, which it has in the top 6 to 5. They're kind of very comfortable. I have to say, the 2 Dutch drivers are just dominating at the moment. They must have got the call from Max Verstappen. So yes, so that fastest lap to
Your
set
lap
the
time was 115.0. Good luck. That's your quickest today.
Although he's not in the championship hunt, but he can definitely, like anything, isn't it? Now the drivers, we're getting another flash here from the Brazilian driver too. So you see that blinking there, the camera can't catch up. It's basically the internet connection between themselves and the server. Having a little bit of a trickiness situation. One or two at least going to have those issues. Let's just hope it doesn't happen when you're overtaking
The gap to Bortolotti ahead is increasing. It's now 2.0.
I hope so. Max Bortolotti still struggling with this circuit. I think cut down in 13th, and as things stand, Kenzie Newhoff would take the championship lead by just 1 point going into the final round of the season. He has been in that position before, of course. In the last championship, he was very close to, or the last championship he didn't win, which was season 2 of 2023. He came into that race with a 1-point advantage over Lee Aberdeen, who then beat him by 1 position in that last race and won the championship on races won. Not on points, but on races won, because they were tied on points after 12 rounds. This is Andrea Catter, who's gone for a very near accident, but he's done quite well to save it. That was a short trip towards the Max Bortolotti will be still behind his compatriot there in that situation as we go back to some positions outside the top 20. These guys are battling it out. Dennis Cornell, Reed Dennis. I think going side by side. Is there a lap car involved here? There is. Robert Ridgway getting involved. He's 40th after incidents early on lap 1.
Yeah, it's unusual because Robert, obviously, we did last team before the Super Formulas here on the JB Broadcasting Network, and he's very quick in those machines. It's probably a little bit difficult for him these days, isn't it, to adjust back, and there is another little bit of a blinking signal. This is going to really start frustrating one of the drivers. I can't remember who it is. I think it's Andre here that is having a little bit of an internet connection issue between the Brazilian driver and the server, and that's maybe the reason why there could have been an overtake there. It's very difficult for the other drivers to be able to spot where the car is to get the overtake done. They're up the field there still. This is it. So Luca.
Okay, Andre. The next car is Aito.
He's still still sat there waiting. He's just waiting for his chance. He's got Timo Milakangis in front. He's just been overtaken by Evan Way in the sort of light blue you can see in front. And so Milakangis suddenly on the way back. Luca Varani going to look to make that worse, unfortunately, for the Finnish driver. He's going to try and make his way through. We're about a third of the way through this race already. So flying by very, very quickly indeed. As we see every league, really. They're relatively long races for F3 cars, but very entertaining. And they do indeed fly by. What an entertaining season we're having here. Just look like Bush Coast
He's having
internet problems,
huge
doesn't it?
problems at the moment there, and that's going to be very, very frustrating for the other drivers. Now, of course, you don't ever want to say, it's very difficult race control and stuff like that. You never want to say to the driver, look, you've got to pull over, take a pit stop, do something like that to try and get something happening, get back out there, because when it's happening like that so much, and then again, he's dropped back a little bit, so hopefully that's okay. Maybe he probably allowed, and I would say that too, if you're being told by your race control or your spotter, hey, you're having some problems, then you leave those battles be, drop a couple of places.
Fastest lap for Kato, 1:14.8.
You think about others as well. Unfortunately, that's just the way it works.
Certainly. It's
13th place.
you always have to contend with. Aaron Smith's a long way back now, of course, after issues earlier on. He visited the pit lane, of course. Now back to 20th, having overtaken Nick Carty. He's the highest placed driver, by the way, Aaron Smith, to have taken a pit stop so far. Will have taken his fast repair there, and he's back out on the circuit into the top 20. We saw this with Greg Sykes last week, for example. You can still make up positions. Was it Jimenez as well? No, maybe not. But someone else was into the pit lane, still managed to finish inside the top 15-20. Maybe it was Evan Way, I can't remember. But we do see it from time to time. Some good results, nevertheless, with those pit stops made throughout the day. There is Ivan Turin out, still looking for his way through on Koji Ito. Just up in front at the moment, 6th place in the 2500 standings at the moment. A subcategory, of course, of the drivers' standings overall that we have each week. Edward Amos is just the one up in front as well in this battle for 14th position, and this has been a position that's been very widely fought over so far in this race for whatever reason. The midfield has stayed very close together.
Yeah, two battles in every way there. Yeah, Finnish driver. Love the carousel, it's so fantastic. It's a roller coaster ride. You're riding a ball course with these drivers in Z3 machine, because they're very light. They get very airborne. We saw that when they hit the machine as well too. They start to just get a little bit of, and then of course when it comes back down onto the ground, depends on what direction your steering is pointing in and the momentum of the machine and everything like that. They have to try to struggle to keep it on the track and out of the fence. So some drivers have been harassing, have been, of course, and other drivers have. We haven't had some major accidents really. I'm just starting to see Samuel here. Now, these top three are in the same top three positions that they started at race of 42, the 1 and the 4. But of late, Samuel Homer is starting to creep in the other Dutch driver of Kenzie. And that's going to be important in the championship, isn't it? Because Kenzie needs all these points. Considering Max is down there in P13.
Yeah, if Herman got through and Nuoff, then the two would be tied going into the final race. Barcelotta and Nuoff, that is. Samuel Herman's on the way back in the championship, won't be getting involved. Even though he's performed really well actually in the second half of the season. He didn't do very many races in the first half, which is
Okay, Andre, you just cut the track.
Drop weeks can save him from that and get him towards the top end of the championship. So it's going to be about Nuoff and Barcelotta. Can Tony Jimenez stay involved in the championship fight? Well, I don't think so. Unfortunately, came into the late 16 points behind Nuoff in the standings. He's going to lose a few more and go back to 19 points behind Nuoff, who can only lose 10 to Jimenez on one particular day. So at the moment, it will be about those two and those two only. A two-horse race going into the finale if things stay as they are, and I can't see things changing to allow Jimenez to be involved in that title fight in 1 week's time. But let's wait and see. We go back to 9th place with Evan Way, Timo Milakangis and Luca Varani. There's been no positional changes here really. It's been single file for pretty much the entire time we've been following this battle.
There's been a big moment back here. This is with Aaron Smith. They've come together, look. Big accident. I'm just wondering if anybody else has come back on track. That's a pit lane entrance as well. Oh, they've hit each other again. Oh, there's beef there. There's beef there. You can clearly see that was a clear turn in, wasn't it? There was no intention for that. seen that a couple of times. You're always going to get beef if somebody drives, aren't you?
Yeah, I think they're going to land themselves in a bit of trouble, those Flint, who just went a little bit wide. Yeah, they're going to land themselves in a bit of trouble, I would imagine. No penalties come through from last race yet, so that will all be sorted before the finale, you would imagine. So nothing to report there yet, but there will probably be stuff to report from this race. I would imagine, Sandy Flint again, just on a few moments ago. Just running a little bit wide. This is the moment with Aaron Smith, whose entire front end disintegrates entirely. And this is how he was down the inside at the rainy curve, or the one after the rainy curve, I should say, at turn 10. And unfortunately, he does get turned in on at the second to last corner, and then he'll get himself into some trouble for that, I'm
That
afraid.
almost destroyed the other driver. You got to remember too, the beef that they had together is one thing, but you know, you got to think about another poor driver that had nothing to do with this little beef that they had.
All right.
Could have almost got taken out. So gentlemen out there,
Hold your line. Stay right.
frustrations creep in, but do remember if your actions reflect on everybody else in the race. So don't want to be turning a two-way beef into a three-way beef and so forth and so forth. Come on, gentlemen, settle down. Don't make me come back there. Why do I have to come back there?
E12.
It's going to be trouble.
It's not good for those two. I think Aaron Smith, though, may well be out of the race for the remainder as Timo Milakangis exited right down the inside of Evan Way and was given all the space he could ever want on the inside of turn 2. And so Milakangis is back into ninth place again. Evan Way back to 10th. Luca Veroni has been caught by Andrea Carter as well, who you can see in the background there. So there's 4 now for ninth place with Milakangis in that position. I wonder if he's going to be able to get away from the other 3 or whether he will now be the
There's
one
an incident here.
defending
Turn
for
5.
that position.
Andrea Carter has been putting them at the laps and laps, like fast laps you saw a little bit before. Our race leader has just taken the fastest lap back again, comfortably 2.8 second gap there over Rins Dutch nationality Netherlander. Driving behind him, and see the gap is actually 1.8. Samuel's backed off a little bit from that battle, still sitting comfortable in P3, but William's putting a little bit of pressure on Mez. But there's still, I want to keep my eyes on this because I believe that
There's an
Carter
incident
is
in the
really
Andretti
thought this
hairpin.
one.
You think it might be Hopkins?
Max dropped off a little bit. Oh, oversteer moment. He got the power down, didn't he? The rear end said no and had to correct it. Good job there for the Italian. But Max, I don't know what's happened.
Okay, Andre,
I wonder
that's half
if
distance.
Panettone
We
did get
estimate
damaged
3 laps of fuel remaining.
matching the pace now. He's in the 15s. These guys are in the 15s.
Oh no! Oh, there's a spin in front of Milakangis who goes
Looks like
straight
it's
into one of the lap
Hopkins.
cars. It's Alex Hopkins who's gone for a spin at turn 2, and Milakangis has arrived on the scene. It's Alex Hopkins who's just got things wrong on the power there at turn 2. And he's been smashed into the side of, he's got damage. Milakangis definitely has now, and he's out back to the pit lane, is the Finnish driver. And what a shame that is. What an unfortunate moment for Milakangis to arrive on Alex Hopkins, stuck in the middle of the road in that situation. Here is the moment again. It's Hopkins into turn 2. He goes in deep, he goes for a spin, he tries to spin it back around, but instead accelerates straight onto the racing line and straight into Timo Milakangis.
That's unfortunate racing incident. Of course, the driver's just lost it there. He'd come around full speed, straight on the racing line. Bingo, nothing to do. You can go pole shaped anyway. You can get the lucky dip, the lucky draw on that one. Work your way. You know, you could just squeeze past it. You know, you can draw the one. That is just unfortunate for motor racing. It can happen to anybody, including race leaders at this point. So
E12, 2 laps of fuel remaining.
crazy sharp reaction on there, but he could even have done anything really. Did he have time? I'll probably go back in a second and put it on board. But I want to see the battle down here for Scottish drivers actually here. I'm sorry, because there's about 4 or 5 Scottish drivers in this grid. Yes, I'm sorry, we look at this one. 15th, 16th, and 17th. So, upon Scotland and the United States of America.
Stuart Mill is what we're riding on board with at the moment. Koji Ito
Nyhoff is leading the race.
still ahead of Stuart Mill. He's still been fighting for, well, previously 16th battle of this race, but with that crash for Timo Milakangis, he's now moved up a position into 15th again. Koji Ito making up a position there, as they all have. So including Bartolotto, by the way, is 12th, but still a long way away from where he needs to be. This is the moment again for Billy Kangas. I mean, he'll be so frustrated with Alex Hopkins here for accelerating onto the racing line. You can see him go too deep, and the spin is fair enough.
Yeah,
but
you're right.
It's the acceleration to try and spin yourself back around again that Billy Kangas will be not very pleased about.
It shouldn't have done that, really. If you're going to crash, you
2
stop
litres remaining.
because you need to be predictable. It's as simple as that.
P11, you've only got enough fuel for this lap.
Need to see, see you and go. Okay, you'll go either there. I'll go left or go right. You start moving. Becomes very difficult.
Box this lap, please, Andre.
Anyway, it's all in the rules and regulations of many all the leagues really across the planet. Most of them that we have also broadcast here on the TV. Drivers know that for a fact, but sometimes in the heat of the moment, you just do something intending to do. Up in the inside there for the 49 machine on the Scott, and doesn't get it on the Japanese driver. Yes, he does. In fact, if the Japanese driver's not careful, Nick might just sneak the 76 machine up the inside there. Are they struggling for tyres? Why are some of the drivers backing up big time?
I wouldn't imagine they're really struggling at this point. I think Koji Ito just got really wide in at turn 1 or any of the corners really. There's a lot of sand on the outside which you can really be held back by. Max Bartolotto has made a bit of a mistake here on this last lap as well. He's now, he's still 13th, or 12th, sorry, and this was it.
Watch your speed
It was
limit in the
into
pits.
turn 6.
Pit lane speed
He
limit
did
is
well there to
56
actually save the
kilometres
car
per hour.
entirely. He could have very
Box in,
easily found himself in
5.
the wall completely.
4.
Good save, yeah, exactly.
3,
And that could have been devastating, isn't it, for his championship hopes?
Box now.
But there is Luca, and these two again, isn't it? Andrea and Luca at it tooth and nail, because now Luca wants it back after the overtake earlier.
Just want to go back through again, but he's still got quite a way through, and he's not really pushing to get through at the moment. And Kato is recently the one who's overtaken him, so I wonder whether Kato actually does have more speed than Luca Baroni at the moment, and whether he's going to get away with this 10th place pretty quickly.
Great racing. It's a difficult track to master and get it right. We saw that with that even going a little bit wide there at the moment. The triple two machine. Luca trying to push. You can see the bumps, isn't it? It's almost like blind. A lot of it's blind. We've got cockpit views on it. This is what the driver sees. So see, it's blind cornering. A lot of it. See, now the carousel, you know that for a fact. You just point that car in one direction. Just hope it goes. It's as simple as that. Because you can't see the corner until you're on it. Race leader putting another banker lap in, but Claire, well, you have to say Clark. Sorry, not Claire. I was going to say Claire Williams because I'm thinking of Williams from the racing team, isn't it? It's Clark Williams, of course, the 98 machine. Now he's homing in on the Spaniard, and once again, this is crucial in the race championship standings. So let's see if it pans out.
It might be a new one for Clark Williams, actually. I don't know whether he's ever been called Claire before, but there we go. Happens. He's trying to get through into 5th position at the moment. Tony Jimenez, the one just up in front, as I mentioned. As of right now, Jimenez wouldn't be able to be a championship contender in the final round. He does need to gain some points over Kenzie Newhoff at the moment, even though he is gaining on Max Bartolotto right now in the championship standings. Bartolotto, by the way, as I mentioned, and I'll repeat myself, needs to be inside the top 8 if this race is to count towards his score. If not, then he'll score 36 points from the race. That is 8th place equivalent. So he will score 8th place points, with Newhoff scoring 2nd place points. Newhoff will gain 6 and be the championship leader by 1 point heading into that final round at Watkins Glen in 1 week's time. New fastest lap from Kira Martell as his fuel load goes down. These drivers are getting quicker. It's Clark Williams getting into the top 5 though. He's very close on the way out of that final corner. He's looking for the inside. He won't get that. He'll be stuck to the outside by Tony Jimenez. But he's going to really use all of the road. Brake very, very late. Probably too late. Actually, went very wide. And Williams tries to go tuck back under again and go to the outside for turn 3. That's not going to happen, and Jimenez hangs on.
Wow, the over and undercut there was trying to work out. So he has a little bit of Tory in the background. I think that was Jones there. Yeah. But good work, good try, good attempt. It is difficult to overtake. Actually, look at that as well too. So Samuel in P3 has gained a ton of time. I guess it might have been a mistake. All traffic's at play. So 2 battles. This one's definitely brewing close and very important in the championship. Once again, all these points are very, very important. Wow. It ain't over yet till 14 laps until, well, so Barney waves that flag and you want to see that flag and, oh wait, you're not going to go. Am I going to do that? Teddy Curse of the year again?
I hope
Our
not.
race leader?
Because I felt bad for Sandstone last week. I've got to say, I really did. But yes, it's Thiago Marteau in that position this time, and hopefully we're not going to curse it on this occasion. Sammy Herbert gets closer to Kenzie
There's an
Newell and
incident
won't be able to
in
find his
turn
way
six.
through.
Looks
Indy
like
needs to finish in second, of course,
Yellow
if he
flag.
wants the championship lead, or first. He needs to have an even bigger championship lead in that situation, but just a podium, just a third place won't be good enough for the championship lead. He will be tied on points with Max Bortolotta, and since Bortolotta has won 3 races so far this season and Newhoff has only won 1, and Bortolotta would keep the championship lead. That's worth remembering, I guess, going into that final round next week, that if they're tied on points at the end of the season, Bortolotta will win on races won.
Yeah, so this is why it's crucial here at the moment for him to defend this charge at the moment from Samuel. Because you don't want to go down to that situation, of course, like in Formula 1 as well, too, isn't it? By 1 point of separating championship between Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton. It can come down to that in the wire, and then you've got to look back at those races sometimes, don't you? If you could, throughout the season, and then you go, Jesus, just one more spot. I would have made it a lot easier for myself in the championship. So these are the ones that I'm probably thinking about right now. So
Webster, that was.
yeah, a lot of traffic. Ooh, you know what's even probably a bit more scary, I'd have to say? Look at the track map. They have Andrea Uskowski, which is the one that's actually blinking a lot. The one that the Brazilian driver that's having a lot of issues with the uneven combination. So I do hope that he gets completely out of the way, because you don't want to be approaching a car that's on and off with invisibility at one stages in this race at all.
That was John McKenzie who just got out of the way to the left-hand side. Then it'll be Wenger, then it'll be Muskowski in
Hold your
the
line, clear
24th
left.
position. He's just behind Dennis Cornu in a fight for 23rd. Not so far in front of these guys, and I think they will catch them before the end here as well. So that is not good news for them particularly. Will McIntyre Jones still close
Alright,
to
Andre,
Clark
the next
Williams
car is
there for
Corey.
6th position as well. So Williams has gone less on the attack from Jimenez.
Right
And
side.
he's more on the defence now from McIntyre Jones.
Hold your line.
He's still trailing
Flag
Andrea
P16.
Kata, but he's not
Hold your
likely
line.
to go for
Clear
a move
right.
in the near future as John McKenzie goes off at the corkscrew. Andy Flint will go through, and that'll be one of the easier lapping manoeuvres that he's done today.
Blue flag.
John McKenzie keeps going off the track a lot. But I want to keep an eye on this crucial battle, as you can see. So, Jimenez has now got Williams and John in that field there. McIntyre John, so Will in P7. So they're starting to catch out. You still have Luca on the back there of Andrew. 11 to go.
Car left, clear left, on your left, clear left.
Now, this is when the elbows may start to come out a little bit more.
Possibly. It's final 10 laps at the end of this one, so if there's ever a time to go for it, then it's going to be coming up very shortly. That was a moment onto the sand as well for Samuel Hermit. Not an ideal place to be at all, but thankfully he's not gone off the road entirely, which is a positive. Now over the top of the hill into
14th.
the rainy
That was
curve.
on
So the
17.6.
final couple of corners now as well. Turn 10 and then 11. The final hairpin, if you like, onto the front straight. Will there be a way through now for Samuel Hermit? I don't think the exit's good enough. Kenton Newhoff got a pretty good launch off of there, and there'll be some lap cars to contend with now very soon as well. It'll be the battle between Muskowski and Cornu. They'll have to go through next. Hermit wants to be in front before they get there. He's not going to get the chance to as Newhoff defends into turn 2.
These lap cars are going to be big trouble, I think, for these drivers, because our race leaders dropped a ton of time. Look at that. It was so 6 seconds, down 3.5 now. These two are battling. Usually you know for a fact that when two cars are battling behind you or ahead of you, it tends to slow them down together, but they're not. In fact, if anything, increasing leader. So I think because our race leader has started to engage in all those traffic, he's had to back off a little bit just to play it safe, and they've got 10 to go. And not make it up too
Stay
much.
between the lines, please, Andre.
These cars now are going to be approaching that very traffic. Let's see how they deal with it. Look away from the screens. See, the screens, plural, that's right. 2 or more.
Yes. Couldn't do it on that occasion,
15th
Samuel
place.
Hermit, so he's going to look for a different way through. just up in front at the moment is indeed Dennis Cornu. He's just been overtaken by Andrei Ruskowski for 23rd. That's late on the brakes for Samuel Herman, who gets quite close on the way into the final turn, but doesn't get the exit that he needs, and Kentinov certainly does. That's keeping him in second place at the moment.
Takes that race leader because he cleared the traffic, now gets the fastest lap now. And he's back up in second. Look at this. Oh, this is what's dangerous. Look at the exit and entrance of that Dennis that you said, right? Up the road, the French driver, was it?
I think it is.
Yeah,
he's wide at turn 3 as well. I wonder if he's put off slightly by those behind. Now he gets out of the way to the right-hand side. So he's let these two through, and he's let Wiskowski go as well, which is not great, I suppose, but you've got to do it when you're a lap car, unfortunately. You do have to mind out for those who are on the lap ahead of yours.
I'm scared of Andre up the road here. I'm sorry, but I'm a little scared concerned of Andre because they're approaching him. He's the one who's been thinking. And you just do not hope that happens into a corner. It's a little bit different, of course, when they're racing at the same pace as them, but when you are in the blue flag conditions against the carousel, that's what you don't really do. And of course, remember here, Kenslin's going for tooth and nail. He's going to be focusing ahead. He's like, I got to keep Samuel behind me here. I can't afford to lose this. This is a championship. This could come down to the wire. Remember, just on equal points at the end of the season on race wins. So he's got to maintain this P2 position with 8 to go.
And if things stay as they are, a DNF from this situation, Newhoff would be pretty, well, he would just about still be in championship contention, but he'd have a very long shot at winning it, let's say. Because he would, that's the big slide for Herman.
Yep.
May well be in the clear now, Kenton Newhoff, because Samuel Herman has got them slightly wrong in the exit of turn 2. Spins up the rear tyres, and the gap's now 1.5 seconds.
I think it's safe to, I think at the moment he can probably back
There's an
off a little
incident
bit.
in turn
Under that
6.
pressure,
I think it
well
might be
maintained
Warren.
there. And at least it's a safe for Samuel. Good
Incident
save.
in
He
turn
had
1.
the gap,
Looks like it's
down the road
Warren.
there, so you're just going to ear your head down right now and say, okay, let's bring it home. He's not nothing to lose anyway. He started in P3. He is in P3, so he's still got a podium. He's still got to taste the lovely stuff up there. Further back we'll go to this battle that's been resuming course. We'll see if I can find it. So difficult. There's somebody's had an off track.
Oh, it's Cornu.
Yeah.
P16.
There's Cornu. He's gone off and he's dropped another place to Ben Goyette now. Let's see what happened to him through turn 6. Oh, he's missed the apex entirely there. Too much speed, goes entirely around, and thankfully gets along the circuit back again quite nicely there actually. So instead of the racing line, everyone else has followed through.
Now, good to see that. Now, here it is. A last chance effort here. From Clark Williams to gain 2 positions in this race and get P5. Oh, can't Tony. Composed isn't it, as you said. Tony is crucial for championship points too for the Spaniard, isn't it? P5. He needs to get this position as much as possible. Max still down in P12. I don't think Max is going to do anything about that. 12-second gap. Max is just not on the pace he is in. Or he got early damage. But he's in the 15 club. Around 15s, late 14s. These are the drivers mid 14s. So 12 for the day. Bring the car home. And see how it pans out for the next race.
At the moment, Tony Jimenez is really in a battle for third place in the championship with Luca Varani. Came into the day also with 5 points over Varani, and at the moment he's gaining 6.
P17.
So 11-point advantage, and with his drop
On
loop
your
as
right.
strong as it is, that means that he would guarantee
Clear right.
himself third. Unfortunately, it means he can't gain any places, but he also can't lose any, so I guess that's a positive in that respect. And he would be in third if the season were to end at the end of this one. He doesn't need to bother with the final round, but hopefully he
There's an
does.
incident in turn 3. It looks like Devin.
Come with us to that finale at Watkins Glen. To hang on from Clark Williams at the moment in this 5th position, and there's Will McIntyre Jones, who was very close
There's an
behind, but
incident
he's lost a
in
second
turn 4.
again now,
It
and he's
looks
no
like
longer with them.
Devin.
I have to give it to you see Samuel just put the banker lap in there. It's a 14.4, a 14.8
Clear right.
So just like that, he's not giving up yet. He still has 6 laps to go. He's going to be back on to the gearbox again in the dust driver and put some pressure on. So hey, get hands off. He may have another shot at this. If he continuing on the pace he is, you see 8 tenths, 7 tenths as well too. So we might have to switch back to that one soon. But Clark Williams can't find a way. Cannot find a way around this Spaniard driver for now. It's just all I have to do. Look at that. I have to say there. You know, it's just keep applying the pressure, force the driver to raise a
16th place.
mistake if you have to. it is mind games as well as it's just keep the car racing lines. Yeah, well, you do know. It's physical and mental.
It was a very difficult place to be. As Clark Williams misses the apex at the penultimate corner there, and he doesn't actually lose heaps of time because of it, but could have gone wrong. It's
On your right.
not got the
Clear
run, I
right.
don't think, onto the front straight either. Is he close enough? Jimenez weaving around again. Varani is going to try and go through now, and Andrea Cacho
Right
has been
side.
biding his time here, sitting and waiting,
Clear
and now he
right.
might strike. Now Clark Williams might find his way through as well. Too far on the outside though through turn 2. He won't make his way past. Will Luca Varani? He's also looking on the outside, but no, same outcome in both battles.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Absolutely brilliant racing that we're having here on round 11. United States of America, with a lot of the United States of America drivers, Mr. Flint, of course, at the moment in P4, and a few of the other drivers all around the place. You can see lots of dust kicked up everywhere. There's drivers eagerly the track back there. They're approaching traffic too from now. Other of those drivers are probably just getting off the racing line, don't want to be a part of that, and want to get involved in these racing incidents with these other drivers involved for championship hopes.
P15.
And you can see, look at that down 25, 26,
There's an
27.
incident in the Andretti hairpin.
There's action there.
Who is being caught by everybody here. Chuck Morrow's behind Mackenzie, Devine and Zamota as well. All in a line right behind that battle as well for 10th with Kata and Varani. But see what happens for 5th as well. Tony Jimenez still in this position, and with every lap that passes it looks more and more likely as if he's going to hang on to this place that he's held now for the entirety of the race.
Oh, there's a big crash here. Am I not mistaken here? What's happened to Carter? It's just, oh no, I think it's throwing me off because no, he's lost it here.
Oh, it is an incident. He's gone round.
And Max has hit him.
Oh, Varani's hit him.
Varani's hit him, yes.
Oh dear, and the front wing is off. What could Luca Varani have done about this? Well, I'm going to imagine not very much. I'm afraid. Final corner, he's turning committed now. Where's Kata going to go? Oh, and there's big damage for Varani as well.
Yeah.
Varani, they're both damaged and they're both still going.
They're trying to hang
this
in.
is remarkable. And now the battle behind for 26th is coming through. Zoltan Zamota unlaps himself now. As does Mackenzie and Dividing both make contact as well. Towards the next corner, Luca Varani might well just try and limp through these final 4 laps of the race because there's not very long to go.
This could actually be good for Max at the moment. He's going to catch them at a drastic rate with that because of the damage. So there it is. A P12 no longer. He's got to be careful not to hit him. You're from the same country, gentlemen. At least if you're on different teams.
Varani hits straight into the wall, and surely he's not going to be able to continue on any further. I think Kato will be able to. He's just got no front downforce, so he'll limp home. I can't imagine it will be a top 10 for him. Max Bortolotto might well take that position over, but it's still not enough for this round to count.
Here comes the
Kenzie
Austrian.
will still have a 1-point championship advantage even if he does get to 10th place.
Yeah, look at this. So Will's been slowly closing in on this. He's been like, come on, Clark. You've had 10, 15 laps to try to get past Tony. You haven't done it yet, so move on. Multi-20, multi-76 or something like that at this point. Get out of the way, give me a shot at him. Of course,
P14, 2 to go.
Williams, but at the moment, there it is. So Will's caught him, but doesn't have enough time, 3 to go. Going to send some sort of send here, but it's late in the championship. Too many points right for grabs. Too much risk.
It's 2 laps to go now as they go over the line again. Thiago Marto still leading the way and looks like he's going to take home a race win. Kenji Nuoff might well hang on to second, although Samuel Herman is catching again, and maybe there'll be one last battle there. I think Herman might well run out of time though, because realistically there's less than 2.5 minutes remaining in the race, and when you put it like that, it puts into perspective just how little there is remaining in the race. There's Andy Flint, who we haven't seen much of today, but he's been on his own at 4th, and then there's the battle
Hold
for
your
5th
line.
between Jimenez,
Clear
Williams
right.
and McIntyre Jones as well. With every lap that passes though, Jimenez is looking more secure in this position.
Clear
I
left.
think he is going to be able to take this one.
Limit.
Car left.
On top of
Clear
that, Max
left.
got past Andrew because he's seen with the damage. That's there is Andrea. See, you got to hang in there, right? There's no point for a pit stop. You lose too much time. He has a gap there to Eddie. A little bit down the road there. That's 4 seconds. Eddie Ames is probably going to catch him, but
Well, he is trying to survive, but he's struggling to. Amos and Milne are probably both going to go through, actually. But Cato will still pick up 13th, I suppose, as Thiago Marteau sets on to his final lap of the race. Max Botolotto's inside the top 10, but it's still not enough. This would become a drop round as things stand in the race, and Neuhoff would lead the championship by a single point. There's Marteau, 4.5 seconds out in the lead. He's just got one more lap to complete before he is a race winner again in the IGP Fun F3 League.
You're absolutely right. He's kicking up the dust there. I mean, he was setting past his laps before too. I think he has the overall force. Maybe he does. I think it's not back. But he's got a comfortable gap to this man, Kenzie. So, and there is, Samuel has been, well, I have to say, it's a bad name, but it's a pest, isn't it? He's been a pest to Kenzie, but that's good. A racing driver should be, because he's trying desperately to get past Kenzie. He's put up a good fight. You have to give Samuel put up. Oh no!
Oh dear!
Oh, and Andy Francis around the corner as well. We'll have Andy get through that. I think he might be safe for now. There's Andy in the background.
Thiago Marteau is going to take the race win here at Laguna Seca. There he is, 4.5 seconds. No challenge to him here this afternoon, but Thiago Marteau is a race winner again in the IGP Fun F3 League. Kenty North will hang on from Samuel Hermer, who gave it everything to the end, but that slide out of the corkscrew means that he is going to finish third, and Tony Jimenez will hang on to a top 5 to confirm himself third place in the driver's standings this season, and so a well done to him. 38 laps complete here at Laguna Seca, and Sebastian Graveland actually had to hang on for Evan Way there at the end, surprisingly. There's Max Bartolotta, who is going to lose the championship lead as a result of this 10th place finish.
All came down to his qualifying at the end of the day, didn't it? Who spun in the final corner as well too? That's not a place, that's Dennis. He moved off the racing line, thankfully. You don't want to be hitting a lapped car on the final corner of the final lap of the race. So there's Max, Eddie. How about this? How about this for the Scotsman? Stu, 19 positions gained inside the top 12. That is, you like that, don't you? I mean, position gain.
Well, at least I beat Andy, that's the main thing, right?
Great managed to survive all the action that's happening this evening. Nick Carter, Nick Carty, 16 positions gained. It's all stuff on the screen at the moment. To see the gainers and losers.
Yeah, that's what dodgy setup.
It's always great to see at the end of these races, because there's so many people in the races. It's fantastic to see the positions gained and lost, and the most will go to Stuart Milne in 12th with 19 places gained after his 31st place start. He very nearly got into the top 10 at the end there as well. But these are the results after 38 laps. Thiago Marteau, the race winner, ahead of Kenzie Neuhoff and Samuel Hermer. Andy Flint and Tony Hurst ran up the top 5. Clark Williams and Will McIntyre Jones couldn't quite break into it. Sebastian Graveland and Evan Way came over the line together, with Max Bartolotta rounding out the top 10. Edward Amos missed out slightly ahead of Stuart Milne, who we just talked about. Andrea Catta limped home to 13th with no front wing. Nick Carty and Ivan Zuranau round out the top 15. 16th was Luca Verani, who dropped back as a result of that late crash as well. Chris Stewart was ahead of Koji Ito and Pedro Suarez, the final driver on the lead lap. Andrei Wyszkowski finished one lap down in 20th. Then it was Marek Zotlovs ahead of Matthew Gracie. Ben Goyet, Chuck Morrow and Zoltan Zamota round out the top 25.